Well, for those of you who are just jumping in, welcome. I am Red Pilot. And, yeah, we're just hopping into some PSO. Nothing too crazy tonight. I know I'm behind on videos and stuff for this week. I haven't really done anything. But, sometimes that's just how it is. I haven't really had much of a need to, Are you chewing on the paper towels? Really? I knew she'd do this. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I am not ready for tonight. One moment. Gave her a bit of a stern talking to. We'll see how it sets in. Anyway, where did we leave off? Were we even doing quest slots last time? No. Well, we did, but now we don't have any quests to do. Not without exploring a little more. Ugh. Screen quality just doesn't look good, like, ever. I mean, it's not lagging, so there's that, but still. Could always be a little bit better. Man, why is G4 TV going all nuts? I thought I muted their channel. Not that I don't like G4 TV, it's just mute them on, like, Discord or whatever. Yeah, I think we're good. I do need to sell some items, though. But first, we're gonna organize them a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. Oh, and we also need to see, like, what items we should be keeping and which ones we shouldn't be. So, equip Saber 3, I'll keep gun +2, and then I'll just sell everything else. I don't like how it organizes it now. It used to organize guns at the bottom, then it would go up to armor, and then it would go to normal items and stuff. Oh, I didn't go through that either. Hold up. Frame, we're going to replace with armor. It even has a slot still, so that's good. Barrier's good. Of course, Verona is pretty alright. Alright. So then we just sell all the frames that we have. And then everything else is good. Never sell your scape dolls. You know, it may be a good amount of money, but honestly, you kind of need those for stuff later on. Because if you die, that's your only way to get back. Especially if you're on your own. You know, when you're with teammates, you can rely on them having like a moon atomizer to bring you back or whatever. But if you're on your own, you're toast. I don't think anybody brings you back. Well, I think we are good to go. So let's go ahead and explore a little more. We're going to go through the forest again just to level up a little more. Let's deposit our Meseta. So technically we should be able to go to the caves, but I don't feel like I'm that high of a level. And going on my own would be kind of crazy. Oh, we didn't even unlock it yet, so we have to go through the forest again. Which is fine, because once we do that, we talk to the principal up top, and then he'll unlock the caves. Well, he'll unlock them permanently. Ooh, photon drop. Not that we can use it yet, but still. For now, I think we can just sell it. By the way, if you guys are wanting more, like, in terms of story and stuff from this game, you go over to these little data capsules, and they'll have messages from this Rico Tyrell person, or Red Ring Rico. She's kind of the main... She's kind of what the game is alluding to, being like a main character. Well, I guess she is a main character. But she leaves those little data capsules around and lets you know, what's going on, what happened to her and stuff. Because she is a very important character in this particular episode. I think she had something to do with the explosion or whatever that happened. Not, like, intentionally, but, like, she was kind of a part of it, so... Ugh, the stream quality is so fuzzy. But, whatever. Like I said, it's not dipping in frame rate or anything. So right now we're just clearing up this area. Obviously it's kind of the same thing as last time. We're going to be doing this a lot, unfortunately. So if you're not really into watching the same thing over and over again, you may be better off just watching an old video of mine or watching something else. Because for now, not a whole lot of new stuff is going to happen. Maybe we'll get to the caves today, but... for the most part, I think we're going to be focusing on the forest here. Because I can't just waltz right into the cave. That would be terrible. So I would die like really quick if I did that. So it's best to start off in areas where you know that you'll be able to fight and not die like instantly. The daily grind thing. Basically play till you level up and stuff. And then you move on to the next area. So I'm hoping, or I'd kind of prefer we were at level 10 before we go to the caves, but we'll see. I mean, I could totally take care of myself down there. It's just, as a hunter, if that's what my class is. I'm pretty sure I'm a hunter. Yeah, I'm a hunter. As a hunter, I'm better off using melee weapons instead of just, pistols. I can't use rifles because I'm not a ranger, but rangers are preferable. Goodness gracious. I really need to turn off my my notifications and stuff. Like, bro. Shush. Oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of things, man. He's gonna try and call me or something. I already told him that I have plans tonight. I'm not gonna drop my plans just to go do something. Unless it's like super important. Anyway. What was I getting at? See, I get so distracted during these. I try not to, though. I lost my train of thought. I'm also in a... I'm also not feeling so great today. Not like sick or anything, but my jaw, like bottom part of my my left jaw is like super sore today. I don't know. Maybe I was grinding my teeth or something while I was sleeping or whatever. Because it didn't feel this way earlier on today. But it's kind of sore. It's not like... It's not overbearing pain or whatever, but it's like... It's just kind of annoying. And then I'm also expecting to have somebody over tonight. But I don't think they're coming. I think they've decided to stay home or something, which is usually how it goes. But whatever. I kind of wanted to see him tonight. He's planning on doing a modification to an Xbox 360, and I'm super excited to, you know, hear what he has to say about it and stuff. I'm wanting to watch him do it so I can do it to my own. Because I, for one, am all about modding consoles. I love doing it. I love learning how to do it for each one. I prefer to do soft mods when I can, but obviously hard modding, which is the process of soldering stuff to the board and stuff like that, is kind of the way a lot of these systems go nowadays. Particularly like the Xbox and like the GameCube specifically. I know that one definitely utilizes hard modding a lot better. So, well, 360 is one that I've wanted to do for a while. It's just I wanted to wait till till the system was offline, which fortunately for the, you know, for modders and stuff like me who wanted to wait till till, you know, the risk of getting banned from Xbox Live was completely negated. You know, we're in a bit of luck because this year, in December, Xbox Live services for 360 games will be going away. It's sad because it's the end of a generation. There were a lot of good times that we had with Xbox 360 gaming and stuff, especially online. You know, I've played almost every Halo game on the 360 online at some point or another, and I remember each of them having like the best. I remember having such good times with them. I even played a little bit of COD back in the day. It wasn't nearly as fun as Halo, in my opinion, but you know, it had its perks. The 360 as a whole is like one of my favorite consoles ever. No, it's not because I'm a Microsoft fanboy. It's because I legitimately had a lot more playtime with it, and I don't know. Most of the games kind of applied to me more. So here's how I see it. When I think PlayStation and Xbox, what the difference between the two is, on the surface, there's not really a whole lot of differences between the two. They're almost the same exact system. They generally play the same type of games. They have about the same type of power going to both of them. The only difference is the type of games that they excel at doing. So when I think Xbox, I think back to Sega, where it's fast-paced and action-based. I'm not saying that PlayStation can't do that either. PlayStation has its action titles and its arcade titles too. But when it comes down to it, I feel Xbox does the arcade side a little bit better. And then PlayStation, I've always associated with turn-based RPGs and just RPGs as a whole. Xbox never really had that kind of stuff. They tried quite a few times back on the original Xbox, but it never really went anywhere. I mean, we had Fable, and, you know, as far as RPGs go, I enjoyed that one. I know a lot of people kind of think that one's, or tend to think that one's pretty pretty lousy. And, you know, you're kind of right. It's not the best RPG out there. It's very simple. But it's a fun time. It's not supposed to be super in-depth. It's kind of like a parody at some points. But, yeah, I think that the PlayStation 4, or just PlayStation as a whole, does a much better job with gaming, or with RPG gaming and stuff like that. So, yeah. And I, for one, am not so much of an RPG kind of guy. I know I'm saying that as I'm playing an RPG. But, oh, we also didn't activate this. We need to activate that so we can get to the final area. Anyway, by the way, we can kind of learn a little bit about these pillars here. The people on the ship tell us, oh, they're meant to commemorate the immigration of Pioneer 1, but they don't look like that because these characters that are on here aren't from Pioneer 1 or any dialect that they know of. Anyway, I like RPGs to an extent. I just don't like... I don't prioritize them as like the best games ever made. When I think of a game, I think of something that I can have fun with. RPGs can be fun, but they take so much time out of your day. Like, you really gotta sit there and actually play those games and stuff. Whereas with arcade games and even old school games as a whole, you know, you don't spend that much time on them. You usually die before you get too far into them. And, well, not in real life, but in the game, obviously. You end up losing a life, or getting a game over in it, sooner than later. And then once that happens, you know, it's pretty much time to move on with your day. I mean, you can continue, but you're not going to be spending as much time as you would in, like, an RPG. Like this, I could spend hours a day in this game and not die, only getting my character stronger and stronger. But here's where it gets kind of tedious. While I am, you know, spending a buttload of time in this game and stuff and not dying, I'm essentially just doing the same thing over and over again. And the same could be said about arcade games too. But at least with arcade games, there's a certain level of RNG that makes it just different enough. And there's RNG in turn-based RPGs specifically. But, like here, it's pretty much a predetermined set of monsters that you're going to be fighting. With maybe minute changes depending on the day, I think. Because there have been times where I'll go through and I'm like, huh, that's different. I don't remember it being like this. But, you know, typically with RPGs, it's essentially the same type of gameplay over and over again. There's not really much strategy to this. Honestly, this game that I'm playing right now is really just a glorified button masher. Well, sorta. I mean, I have to time my button presses. For instance, if I were to just hit A like it won't do that fancy attack, where if I time it rhythmically, I can go whoop, whoop, wow. So, you know, it's a little more involved than just button pushing, but... you know, at the end of the day, that's all you're really doing, is just moving from one place to another. You're pressing buttons, and then you might be thinking a little bit more about the situation at hand. I'm not talking, or I'm not dissing on RPGs in any way, by the way. I'm just saying these aren't typically my type of games that I go for when I think of a video game. I will say I do play Phantasy Star Online a lot, but that's mostly because of the fact that, like, historically, I feel like this is an amazing game. Considering this is an MMORPG, quote unquote, from like early 2000. you know, I find this really impressive. And mind you, we're playing the GameCube version, but it didn't start on the GameCube. It started on the Dreamcast. Phantasy Star Online, anyway. The original Phantasy Star games started on like the SG-1, not the SG-1000, the Mega or the Master System and the SG-3000, I think. And they were turn-based RPGs, so much different from what you're seeing on the screen here. But yeah, you know, I play this game mostly because it was such a phenomenal achievement at the time, if you ask me. I know a lot of people are going to look at this and think, what is the big deal? This game looks like a generic, you know, 3D mess or whatever by today's standards and stuff. It doesn't have what new RPGs have and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm sure my friend Jarrett can give you like a million reasons why Final Fantasy 14 is the best game ever, or the best RPG ever, because it has a better story and it's got more features and stuff. Whereas if you were to look at this, he'd be complaining about how it uses generic sound files for monsters and stuff all the time. And it's true. But for the time, this, in my opinion, was pretty cutting edge. I mean, I didn't see other games like this back in the day. I mean, I'm sure on the PC there were plenty of games that were like this, but as far as like consoles go and stuff, that just wasn't a thing. You know, online gaming wouldn't really even become much of a thing until like... Oof, I'm about to die. It wouldn't really become much of a thing until down the road when Xbox Live came to be a thing, and even PlayStation 2 became a thing. It wasn't like super promoted and stuff, but you could get online with a PlayStation 2. You could even get online with a GameCube, hence how this is possible right now. But like before that, it was the Dreamcast. And even then, there were other consoles that could get online as well. Most of them were for downloading games and stuff, but Nintendo, I think, had an online service for one of its games. I think it was a Mahjong Championship game or whatever. But you could connect a phone line to that cartridge, and then you could play with other people online. Very limited, obviously, and it was probably slow as dirt, but, you know, it's still really, really cool to be able to realize that you could do that back then. Now, you know, it's not even a thought. Like, everything has online capabilities. And that's perfectly fine. You know, I think that's pretty much... Or all those consoles beforehand pioneered the way to what we know now. So, yeah. So, ultimately, that is why I play this game so much. I, for one, think that this game is impressive. I think there's a lot of really cool things that came from it. And, yeah, ultimately, like, I play it for the historical significance of it. Not so much because it's a great game. Though I will say, in my opinion, it is a great game. I love the simplicity of it. It's not a very complicated story. There are things that are a little more in-depth than what I'm kind of showing off right now. And later on, you'll kind of see that. But, like, for the most part, the story is very simple. But that's not really why I play it. The reason why I play it is because, you know, this game, again, is really impressive for its time. So, I don't have, like, any nostalgic opinion on it or anything like that, because this was, like, way before my time. Because, like, around that time, I think I was still playing Genesis games. And consoles back then, you know, you look at consoles now, they're pretty expensive. But even, like, back then, you know, my folks couldn't really afford consoles and stuff like that. You know, like, kids nowadays can. So, you know, I was pretty much with a Sega Genesis until I think 2001, maybe 2002, when I finally got a GameCube, and my dad ended up getting an Xbox. Whereas most of my friends were getting PS2s, but at the time I didn't even know what a PS2 was. So, you know, all I knew was that I had a Genesis, and that was like the funnest thing I'd ever had to play. There was also the computer upstairs, but like computer time was a little bit different, because usually my mom was chatting away with people on forums and stuff like that. Remember those? But like, yeah, I'd play on the computer every now and then, and those were arguably the better games. But typically, I was playing on my Genesis in my room. I remember sitting there with a bowl of mac and cheese, playing like Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. And then I remember playing, well, my mom sitting there humoring me with a controller in her hand, playing Sonic 2 with me. And then her, very rarely, but sometimes she would play Mickey Mouse's World of Illusions with me. Not Castle of Illusions, World of Illusions. Yeah, I didn't even know that game was a sequel. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a multiplayer game. My mom enjoyed it. For the most part. But she would play it with me here and there. Basically, I think that's another reason why I kind of like Phantasy Star. I didn't grow up with it, but the fact that it's made by Sega kind of has some nostalgic value with me. So, yeah, I am going to lean more toward Sega consoles and stuff like that. Or Sega games, for that matter, too. That being said, I'm not blind to... ooh, better weapon. But we kind of need to use the handgun. But, you know, despite my history with Sega, I'm also willing to acknowledge that there are much better games out there, much better consoles and stuff like that. So, yeah, see, because of the widescreen patch being put in, it looks terrible on screen, and the fuzz on the screen doesn't make it any better. But it also does this really funky thing with the what's it called? The screen. It makes it all like garbled looking and stuff like that. Oh man. He gave me a status boost too. Oh, I need to run. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm a little nostalgic biased and stuff, but I don't really have much nostalgia with this game in particular. So right now we're doing a photon blast, by the way. You guys can hardly see it just because of how muddled up the screen is, but it does a bit of damage to the enemy, so we're going to utilize it to the fullest extent. Should switch to my sword for when he's just kind of sitting there, but I don't really feel like it. I'm also using monomates instead of actually using my my healing technique or spell, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I thought he'd fall again. I was like, man, this battle's going really well. It's kind of going alright. I think he's gonna... No, he's gonna shoot fire at me again. Yikes. Now he's gonna dive, though. Or not. I don't know what the heck was going on there. I'll just shoot my fire over here. That's cool. Now he's gonna fly up and dive into the ground. So I need to be a little careful here. Don't go the other way. Ah, that sucks. Whatever. He's coming. Oh, jeez. What a jerk. That's another reason, too, why I kind of prefer playing this game over games like Final Fantasy and stuff as well. One of the things that kind of irks me about Final Fantasy, and RPGs as a whole, is that most of them are set in fantasy-based environments. Phantasy Star is kind of a mix of fantasy and sci-fi, which I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so this game kind of relates to me a little bit more than the other ones. I'm also a fan of Earthbound, if you guys have heard of that, or if any of you are from Japan, you probably know it as Mother. But I really like that series a lot too. It's just a little refreshing because it's not a fantasy-based RPG. And while I will sit down and play like a Final Fantasy, I will play a Final Fantasy game here and there. You know, I am not immune to the Final Fantasy craze, but it's definitely not my go-to. If I was to pick an RPG, it would more than likely be Phantasy Star or one of the Mother games. Turn-based RPG, anyway. And I think Pokemon's alright, too. Pokemon is cool. I don't really have a whole lot of childhood memories with it, because I was never allowed to play it. It was just one of those things that my parents didn't want me to do. And, you know, they had their reasons. Ooh, mine material as well. But yeah, Pokemon, like, I've been able to play it recently, or I started playing it recently. I still don't really jump into that one as much, but I do play it from time to time. And I think it's a pretty fun little RPG. It's unique, that's for sure. Not every day you catch your fighters instead of just come across them in the middle of a quest or whatever. So it's definitely kind of neat when you know, you stumble across a new Pokemon or whatever, and it's something that you've never seen before. And it's always like a new challenge because you have to level up those Pokemon and stuff, which is kind of the same way as it is in like other RPGs where, you know, you meet somebody along the way and then they join your party. Well, with this, you have like a million different options, so your playstyle is never the same. Pokemon is so vast when it comes to its playstyle. Usually, like in other RPGs, your playstyle revolves around like what types of spells you use, what type of well, for Final Fantasy nowadays, I think if they kept the job system, depending on what job you put each of your heroes as, you know, will determine how the gameplay goes out and stuff. But with Final Fantasy, well, actually for both, technically, you can always change up the situation depending on what you're going against. Like in Final Fantasy 3, which is the one that I have the most experience with, the job system was there to help you fight against bosses that you arguably probably weren't ready to fight. My biggest foe in that game was Gilgamesh, the bird. And so we talked to this guy and he'll open up the caves for us. But I was told to be a dragoon against him. And while that definitely can help, it only helps if you have the equipment to fight him with it. I did not know what to expect. I was going in through that game blind, which is why nowadays when I do RPGs, especially turn-based ones, I bring a guide with me. I don't care if it ruins the story for me. I bring a guide. I absolutely hate getting to a point in an RPG where everything just stops. And there, I thought I was going to have to restart the whole game over again because I did not know how to kill this thing. It would always kill me every time. It only took 2 hits to kill my guys. And I didn't have a whole lot of healing items on me at that point, because at that point, I didn't realize I was going against another boss. They're spread so thinly between each other and stuff. They're you know, the bosses, they don't show up very often until that point. And at that point, I'd already had to beat like 2 other bosses, I think, before him, and he just happened to be a flying boss. So yeah, it was a little bit harder to continue at that point, because it's not like I could just, you know, take a break and go to a store or whatever and then get health items and stuff. I was stuck in that area, and they had terrible items, and I couldn't grind either, so I was really stuck with what I had. But fortunately, the job system ended up helping me out a lot. Like, a lot. Instead of just changing them into dragoons, because they weren't going to do anything, they didn't have any weapons to use that were dragoon compatible. So what did I do? I changed them into geomancers, which are basically, they're wizards, but they're like, their spells are based on, I'm gonna sell that for now. Their spells are based on nature and stuff. So you can throw like a meteorite at an enemy, or you can, you know, shove a mountain up the butt or whatever, for a lack of better words. Oh, I need to go through those too. But yeah, there are like so many different ways to approach that game. It's ridiculous. And with the Geomancer job, you know, I was able to defeat that boss. I turned them all into Geomancers, and you know, I just kept using spells. I pelt them for like 400 damage each turn, and I had armor that I could use with Geomancers, so it worked out in my favor. Oh, wrong button. So, I don't know why I'm holding on to these. That's basically like, you know, the only experience I really have with the Final Fantasy series. But I did like that. You know, I do think that RPGs definitely have more ways to get around certain obstacles than, you know, like this game, where really it depends on your skill and how fast you are. Because if you're fast enough, you can do this game without getting hurt once. Until you get to like Dark Falls, the final boss. That's a little more complicated, because that dude will throw everything at you. But you know, if you run enough, you can totally get away from enemies and whatnot. It is not that hard to do. Yeah. That being said, gonna heal up. We're gonna drop our money off because I forgot to do that, and then we're gonna see about doing a quest instead of just jumping in. And doing a full run of the caves, because while I love this game, I will say this: the cave system is like my least favorite part of this game. There's a lot of hardy enemies in here, and it takes forever to get through this area, because unlike the forest and the mines that'll come after that, the caves has 3 floors, and the boss makes you wait around quite a bit. So, Oh, we also got a little quest that we can do on here. So we'll be sure to do that. But yeah, as you can see, now we're pretty much able to go through all these quests as well. So totally, totally gonna be fun. But we're gonna do this one, which is specifically for being on Pioneer 2. So this lady here is complaining about her husband who keeps buying weapons even though she wants him to invest his money into their marriage and stuff like that. So she tells us to go convince him not to buy more guns. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna do. This guy here, he's not... When I first did this quest, it took me like 15 minutes to figure this out. Now I can do this pretty quickly. But this guy will ask you who you are. He'll be like, oh, you're doing something for my wife. She's telling me I'm buying too many weapons too often. And then he'll tell us to shut up. He'll reason with us that expensive weapons are strong and stuff like that, and that he likes buying weapons because, you know, every time he buys a weapon, it's better. But we need to tell him that he's a bit of an idiot. Why don't we understand? Because you are a fool. You kind of snap into his mind that he's wasting his time and money by buying weapons all the time. But he can't stop buying weapons. So we gotta talk to his wife about that. She's gonna be like, oh no, my husband, he's a gun file or whatever. Or a shootophiliac or whatever. I don't know. Yep, that one little sentence right there pretty much describes it all. But we need to go tell him no more shopping. So when your lady tells you no more shopping, that usually means you got a problem. So when anybody tells you no more shopping, it means you got a problem. But yeah. He tells us how cruel it is, and he admits to having a bit of a weapon thing going on. Sucks for him, because it kind of crushes him, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And there's a little bit of a happy resolve here. She realizes he's disappointed and that she'll allow him to buy weapons later, but for now they need to save their money, so by spending a little bit of money on us. So cool. Pretty easy 300 Meseta. And online, if you're playing online, you can play that quest over and over again, and that's like the easiest money train right there. So we're gonna do one more quest, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. So this one's gonna be a little long, unless there's something else we can do. Yeah, that one's really long. Lost Bride. Oh, yeah, that one's kind of funny. We'll do the addicting food one. This is a good introduction to the mines, so we'll see how well it goes. I remember this one being a royal pain in the rear when I first did it. Anyway, this lady's going to tell us that she's got a bit of a sweet tooth, and since they restrict certain foods on Pioneer 2, she wants us to go to Ragol and pick up some contraband chocolate, which is just normal chocolate. But she was super excited because once all these passengers were able to go to Ragol, food rations and restrictions wouldn't become a thing anymore. They'd go away. Funny thing about her is she's like this popular lady who I guess lost a lot of weight because of her diet on here. You can figure that out from people like this guy, and I think the robot dude over there, he'll say the same thing. Oh, I didn't drop my Meseta off. But they'll be like, oh no, she's at it again. She's falling from grace or whatever. Which is kind of harsh if you ask me. I mean, just one chocolate cake. That's not the end of the world. But it is kind of a funny little quest. I think the next quest is a lot funnier. But we'll get to that one next time. For now, we are going to go journey into the caves. And again, I for one don't think I'm leveled up enough for this area. I would have preferred going through the forest a little bit more, but oh yeah, I am not gonna do too well here. I am missing so much. Oh, I did level up though, so there's that. But yeah, these guys are essentially the same things as the Boomas from the forest area, but they hit a little bit harder. And I think they attack a little bit faster too. These flowers are the biggest nightmare here. They, unlike other creatures that we've seen so far, can poison us with those little balls that they keep spitting at us. Which, if you have antidotes on you, that's not a big deal. But, you know, if you don't, you're going to take constant damage from that. So it's best to take them out from a distance. So that is exactly what we are going to do. Gonna shoot them from afar, and then we're gonna run like heck because there's more of these guys. And we are not exactly ready to kill a lot of these guys all at once. We're gonna try and sneak our way through. Scoodly doodly boo. And then we're just gonna scope them out because I'd rather not lose that much health here. Basically, if you're at my level, it's nice to have a bunch of telepipes on you, because, you know, in a pinch, they can definitely save your life. You won't lose any money that you've gotten, you won't lose your weapon on certain versions of the game. I don't know if this version drops your weapon, but it does drop your cash. So, that's why I'm so frugal, or that's why I'm so, like, crazy about going to the bank and stuff before I start quests, because I don't want to lose my money on here. I have a chance to go back and get it, but that usually means that I have to fight what I was killed by beforehand to get it back, and it disappears after a certain amount of time, so you really gotta be fast. Ooh, okay. So that thing that just hit me there, that is like a micro dragon or something like that. Yeah, those things, they hit hard. That little blue attack that he does there is terrible. These guys hit hard too, but I feel like these guys are kind of the MVPs of the area. They can also fly away, so keep that in mind too. He's gonna hit us again. Oh, it missed. Or maybe we can shoot it out of the air. I don't know what's going on there. Happy about that though, because I don't want to get killed. Especially by that thing. We aren't even like past the first part of this level, so I think we go through like a lot of... Oof, yep, see, that's the power of a dragon right there. Run, 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 don't let him hurt you. I just want to heal, man. So while you can run up and use your melee attacks on them, the problem is they're able to fly away from attacks, so it's best to use ranged weapons on them. Whether that be with spells or techniques, or using guns. You know, I definitely don't recommend using... Oh, that doesn't have any slots. That sucks. Whatever. I definitely don't recommend using melee weapons on them, though. Unless you're able to run back and forth, and you don't mind doing that. But I, for one, do, so... I'd rather not have to deal with that. that big ol' centipede thing, the grass assassin, it has the ability to stun you with a certain attack. Very dangerous if you're low enough levels and you don't have very good armor, because they have pretty powerful attacks. Which is why I typically take them out first. That right there is one of his powerful attacks. He has a little charge attack that he can do. So, you also can't hit him when he does that either. So, keep that in mind. Ah, he is really, like, liberal with that right about now. Calm down, man. I want to kill some of these sharks here. And yeah, they're called sharks. Man, he is just not letting go. Oh, that might hit me too. I guess I can swap over to my melee weapons here. They're not the best thing to use here. I'm gonna take a lot of damage, but ooh, I need to get out of there. My guy just has like terrible accuracy. I don't know what's going on there. Alright, we took out 2 of them, so that's good. Yep, I need to heal. Alright. Get out of the way. Train's coming through. Now we can kill them. And when they die, a bunch of little guys spawn out of them and stuff. They can't hurt you or anything, but it's something to keep in mind. So you can kill these guys up close as well, but it's recommended that you don't. So that guy just paralyzed me. And I can wait it out if I want to, but I can also just use anti-paralysis. And it goes away. We are going to use guns against these things though, because these guys are super annoying. And I'd rather not get poisoned here. There we go. Got a very noisy dog outside. Beats the TV going off though. Dogs can't cuss. Oof, alright. Ah, camera angles. Kinda wish there was an option for a better camera angle in this game. I know the second game does that, which is super helpful, but here I feel it would be a lot more useful. Because in the second game you have a first-person perspective mode, which really is only helpful for rangers, but you know, it's still a better camera angle than some. Whereas here, I've got like the ability to recenter the camera behind me, and then, you know, it's just free roam after that. Ooh, HP material. Getting some health, G. By 2. So one thing you'll see in this area is that we're going to be going into empty rooms with switches in them, which activate doors in previous rooms. So that first area we were at, there was a door on the other side that was locked, even though we killed all the enemies. We're able to go through that door now because we activated that switch. It's one of the reasons I don't like the caves that much. It's kind of tedious. Plus, it throws in more enemies in an area that you already cleared out, and that's kind of annoying in and of itself. But it does add, or it does give you the option to level up your character even more, though. But when I'm at this low level, I'd prefer not to have to battle things too much. Especially Guile Sharks. I think that's how you pronounce that. But now that door is unlocked, and we can go through. Technically, you can run ahead and just go through it anyway, because it was a locked door. It's not locked down by creatures or anything. There's also obstacles here. Need to keep an eye on those red rings, because if you don't, you can get squished. So in here, we need to turn on the light. There's going to be a lot of areas like this and just dungeons up ahead. But they're more prevalent here than anywhere else, I feel. You don't have to turn on the light, but it definitely helps. So you know what you're going up against and stuff. You can always look at the little name tag down below and see what you're fighting, but I like to see my enemies. I like to know how they're positioned and stuff, and if I'm even facing them or not. It's an ease of mind type of thing. Ooh, these guys are strong. So should be some monsters spawning in. A lot more sharks. I think some of them might be purple. Oh, just one purple one. So, got kind of lucky there. In later difficulties, right now we're playing on normal. That's just default for offline mode. To start with, anyway. But as we progress, we'll be unlocking different difficulty modes. And in harder difficulty modes, they move faster. Right now they're kind of slow, but there'll be a point where they just start running after you. And that's a little nerve-wracking. Especially when we get to the ruins, the final area in this episode. Oh my gosh. That is terrifying. Ooh, Saber 4. Doesn't have the perks that my other one has, but that's fine. Should be another spawn in. More sharks. Big surprise there. None of them we can't handle, though. Just need to keep an eye on where they are. In fact, we'll bring out the saber. Why not? Can't wait to get a sword. The sword is definitely going to help us out a lot here. It's able to strike multiple enemies at the same time. Super effective for big groups of enemies. That right there wouldn't be a problem if I had a sword. Sabers are alright, but they only strike one enemy at a time, so gonna use a little bit of technique power on these guys. Just to show it off. Soon enough we'll have better attacks. Typically I don't use them that much, though. I'm not much of a technique kind of guy. Unless, of course, I'm using like healing powers or whatever. So that just saves a lot more money. I feel like it's cheaper to buy fluids compared to mates. Just because I think they might be a little bit cheaper. But you also get more out of your techniques. Like, you can heal pretty much your entire health bar with techniques. And it's only at the cost of some magic power, which I don't hardly use for anything else anyway. I still buy the monomates and stuff, but those are mostly for, like, backups. So I don't know why I picked that up. That was kind of a bad idea on my end. Got some more psi armor. Don't need any more antidote. We are good to move on. I'll pick up the wild fluid. Brings us back up to 10. And now we warp. And we go into another room that looks kind of similar to the beginning room. But everything's a little more spread out. Dragons won't see us initially, so it's kind of nice. And I'm gonna have 2 sharks on me. That's alright. We will level up a lot faster in here since we are kind of lower leveled. So we have a lot more room to really upgrade. And we got a little ways to go, but we're getting closer than when we would back in like the forest or whatever. Gonna swap back to the handgun here. Just wish his accuracy was just a little bit better. I don't like how little, or how many times I miss. It's just frustrating. Oh, and these dragons will also attack each other. I don't know what dictates it, but sometimes they'll just shoot flames at the other dragon. Or other enemies as well, but typically I usually see them fighting against each other. Oh, that sucked. No, get out of the way. There we go. 15 XP for that, not too bad. I don't really know what causes them to attack. They just kind of attack on their own will. So my photon blast is ready. That was a homing attack. That was weird. Never seen one of those before. But I'm gonna save my photon attack for later on. A lot more dragons. This one's actually flying. Ah, gotta stop getting hit. Don't hit me. And don't aggro the other dragon. Oh, my cat's up from her nap. I don't know what she's gonna do. I apologize if she starts meowing pretty loudly or whatever. Oh, that one locked onto me too. Groovy. So as you can see here, I'm able to get closer to him. My accuracy is a little bit better because I'm closer to him as well. But there is also the chance that they could just fly off and, you know, I won't be able to attack them for a while. And I have to kill them, otherwise I can't move on, so. Anyway, step away from the conversation about PSO. I guess I should explain what the plan is for this upcoming week. And for tonight, too, if I have the time for it. Because I do want to make some... I need to turn off the vibrations on my phone. I do want to make some videos for the days that I missed this past week. I know a lot of you guys... Well... The people that do watch, I know they're missing the StarCraft videos and all that. And I don't blame you there. I've just been super lazy on my. That's just been laziness on my part. And then the Metroid Prime 3 playthrough I need to get back to. Big time. That's been long overdue. So I will definitely be getting back to that. And then hopefully we get through that game like by the end of this month, so then I can move on to better games. Sorry if you like it, but I'm not digging Metroid Prime 3. I'd much prefer just to go to one of the 2D games or whatever. Or the original Prime, for that matter. That would be kind of fun. Or Prime 4. Hint, hint, Nintendo. A lot of us are kind of anxious to get that game out, man. It's been like, what? 3 or 4 years since you've announced that game, and it hasn't even gotten, like, a single trailer after that? I'm not even going to count the trailer that you guys released for that Nintendo, or that E3 trailer or whatever. That wasn't a trailer, that was just straight up, just a GIF. It was dumb. Give us a full-blown trailer, or just tell us that you guys are done with Metroid. I would hate for Metroid to go away, but like, at this point, it's starting to become obvious that you guys really don't care about Metroid anymore. It's kind of the same thing with like F-Zero. Like, we all know that there's never going to be another F-Zero game. I wish they'd just come out and straight up tell us, oh, we're not going to do another Metroid game. At least at that point, like, I'd be upset for the most part, but, you know, I'd get over it and I'd move on. But for now, they're just kind of keeping us in the dark about it and stuff, and that's frustrating, man. I want to know if this franchise that I've fallen in love with over the years is going to continue going. And if not, you know, at least have the decency to tell us, like, oh, we're not going to do it anymore. Because at least you guys came out and said that you weren't making any more F-Zero games. And that's perfectly fine. I understand that. You know, it's, to you guys, it is kind of a tired out concept, and there's not really a whole lot you can do with it. It's not what the fans think, but, you know, at least you guys came out and said why you weren't making more games. With Metroid, I don't understand why you guys aren't making any more. I can understand if it were just like a Japanese type of thing or whatever, because I know in Japan they don't like Metroid that much. But here in America, it's kind of one of your top sellers. There's clearly a market for it. So, it's almost like Nintendo just doesn't like money. Or they like money, they just really don't know how to make it. That being said, if you guys would like a sponsor, let me know. I will be glad to rescind my comments on your guys' business practices. But it sounds to me like you guys don't really care that much for it anyway, so where am I going? I'm going back to the beginning area. Just give the people what they want. Give us Metroid Prime 4. And then you guys never have to make another game ever again. Because let's be honest, Zelda is... Well, no, I would say continue making Zelda games. That's another game that we haven't gotten an update on in a long time, too. Where the heck is Breath of the Wild 2, man? You guys have enough time to make a Hyrule Warriors game, but you don't have enough time to make the Breath of the Wild sequel that we've been waiting for? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's fans of the Dynasty Warrior stuff, but like, that's not why I play Zelda. If you guys are gonna make Dynasty Warrior games, why not just buy Dynasty Warriors and then make them one of your IPs? Hey, at least you can throw in more Smash Brothers characters. Upon saying that, I do apologize. I know I sound kind of salty with Nintendo. That's kind of because I kind of am, but you know, I don't want to make them, or I don't want to make it sound like I absolutely loathe their company or whatever. I do like the games that they produce, and I'm willing to stick with them, you know, for quite some time. I just wish that they would do some. I wish they'd do more now. Like, they've always been this super safe company and stuff. And, I guess that's what makes Nintendo Nintendo, but come on, man, you guys are kind of lagging behind in some areas. For instance, your Switch only goes up to 1080p, which, for me personally, that's not a big deal. But for a lot of people, that is kind of a big deal. Just sounds like you guys aren't even trying to get with the times or whatever. While Xbox and PlayStation 4, they're way ahead of the times. They're getting ready for 8K gaming. You guys are just getting into like 2008 territory or whatever. So, I don't know. I just think y'all need to really step it up a little more. And then in terms of the games, I don't mind waiting on games and stuff. Like, Metroid is probably going to be an amazing game when it finally does come out. But every time we hear something about it, it's usually because somebody's joining the team to make the game better. But that's not very assuring because it sounds like you guys haven't even started the game yet. And you guys are just too busy fiddling around and firing people and stuff from the team. Here's an idea. Don't fire anybody and just pump out a game. Or, you know, spend time to get them to do what you want and then go from there. Oh, maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe I'm not thinking logically on it and stuff, but I feel like you guys have a pretty decent amount of people, or a decent team of people working on these Metroid games, especially Metroid Prime. It's Retro Studios, man. I don't think I've ever seen a bad game come out of their company. Oh, I got poisoned. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's enough. And when paired with those guys, that can really hurt. Game looks like it's slowing down, but it really isn't. It's just because there's a lot of stuff on the screen right now. Well, not OBS wise, but on the game itself. So I guess in a way it kind of is slowing down. Surprisingly, my computer's like really quiet during this playthrough. It's kind of nice. But anyway, I'm done ranting about Nintendo. What was I talking about before that? Oh, right, getting back on track with videos. I'm gonna try and make some videos tonight after this. It all depends on whether my buddy decides to come over or not. But I don't think he will. It also depends on how tired I am after this. Like, I love playing video games, but sometimes these games kind of tire me out. Which you would think would make me sleep better, but really it doesn't. I don't know, whatever was going on last night really messed with my jaw. Actually, I might as well use those while I've got them. Yeah. And we'll save the die grinder for later. I want to wait until we at least get a sword. And open up both these doors here. I don't know which goes to what, but all I want to get to is the final area so I can complete this quest. But one step at a time. Don't touch me, bro. Oh, that's the attack that stuns you. Fortunately, it's letting me attack, so that's not too bad. Kinda sucks when they get you just in the doorway, though. It's kinda like a spawn kill. Got him. Man, one of these nights I really want to get like a buddy of mine to play this with me or whatever. I don't know what buddy, but technically I can play this in multiplayer mode. I can have up to like 4-player split screen on this. I don't know if they'd be making any levels, and I'd probably be getting less levels, but it'll be kind of cool. Good way to soften us into multiplayer experiences before actually jumping into the online mode. Speaking of online mode, I finally got me a power inducer. I think that's what it's called. Oh, line voltage inducer for my Dreamcast to be able to go online. So I'm gonna be trying that out tomorrow if it gets here in time. I won't be able to do a video because my video recorder doesn't record 240 or 480 for some weird reason. I wish it would record that kind of stuff. I feel like it's such a... I feel like that's a really lame limitation. You know. Because there's a lot of things that play in like 420 or 480 and 240. Even now. So I don't know who over at Elgato thought that was a good idea to limit what you could record with your HD60S, but it's kind of lame. Dare I say, it's kind of a small brain type of thing, as the youth would call it. See, this is why I don't like this dungeon. It's all just kind of the same stuff over and over and over again. I just want to get a move on, man. I want to go to someplace different. Everything here all looks the same, and everything walks around in circles. Like that guy to the left there, or to the right, doesn't know where the heck he is. Probably been drinking too much. Oh well, you can take a little nap now. This guy's getting a little uppity. Now he's getting ticked. But now he's dead. Ah! Almost got poisoned there. You know what I want to play for the Let's Plays and stuff? I really want to play a Tony Hawk game. Or a Need for Speed game. That would be a lot of fun too. Basically just a simple little sports game. Obviously nothing like, you know, Madden NFL or NBA or whatever. I don't even know what they're called anymore. But like, I absolutely hate... I can't stand playing those games. I can play like NASCAR games and stuff. Those are kind of fun. But like baseball, football, stuff like that, I've never understood the appeal to those games. I'm sure there's a reason why people like them and stuff, but to me they just seem really They seem really complicated, first off. And secondly, they're just not that exciting to me. In NASCAR, you can wreck your car and stuff. In Tony Hawk, you can like smash your head in or whatever. In football, though, you can't even get a concussion. As far as I'm aware, anyway. And it's also the same game being released over and over again. Not to bash on those who are fans of these sports games and stuff, but honestly, I just don't see the appeal. Don't hit me, bro. Now, games like Mutant League Football for the Genesis, I can understand that. It's ridiculous. People fall off of the space platform that you're playing on. If you tackle somebody too hard, they explode. I sound really creepy when I talk about games like that, but I don't know, it's just little things like that that make games kind of exciting to me. Oh, we're almost to the end of this area, thank goodness. Finally gonna get out of this awful little hive. Still got a long ways to go, but at least we're getting closer. Let's go over here. Fortunately, that is not an instant kill. It just takes a lot of health out of you. So, keep that in mind. Oh, watch out for the traps. That's another thing I forgot to talk about. There's traps in this area. So, you could be running around and all of a sudden this little floating thing will pop up like that. And that thing will explode if you get too close to it. Or if you are too close to it and it doesn't explode, it's usually on a timer and it'll explode very soon. They're very annoying. There is a way to see them before you come into contact with it. If you use trap vision, you can show off every trap in the room. Problem is, it seems kind of tedious just to turn it on. If you're a cast or an android, as some people know them, I think you automatically see them because as a cast, you don't have access to techniques, but you do have access to traps. You can set them down wherever you want. I don't really know the reason for it unless you're doing like a battle against other hunters, but like against NPCs it seems kind of dumb because you have to make them go over to that area in the first place. So, but then again, I never lay down traps when I'm a cast, and I'm usually playing as a human anyway, so it doesn't really apply to me. But using trap vision is definitely a good way to keep yourself safe and alive. Because traps, they do quite a bit of damage. You know what? I'm going to use my photon attack. Just clear these guys out. I was going to save it till we got to cave section 3. But that's going to be such a long time from now. Get too close to these guys, they'll whack at you. It's never fun because it hurts. Fight me, I dare you. And that's how you do it. That was a good critical hit too. We're at the hour and 30-minute mark. I want to beat this quest, though, because, like, in all honesty, starting up this quest and then just stopping right in the middle of it would seem really dumb. But I really don't want my streams going past the hour and 30-minute mark. It's just inconvenient for some people. Kind of inconvenient for me, but that's more of a personal problem for me. I'm always tired, so. I just can't play video games like I used to. Like, when I was a kid, I could play for hours. Nowadays, not so much. I think I've pretty much blown my top when it comes to playing video games for fun. Which is sad. It's kind of like the end of a generation right there. Or the end of an age. But in all honesty, I feel like I get more enjoyment out of watching people play games instead of just, like, actually playing them now. Yeah, nice try, bub. Still aimed at you. That was a really stupid move on your part. Alright, Cave 2. Let's do it. Much different looking environment, by the way. There's water and stuff here. And there's new enemies, too. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Forest 2, but the enemies here are a little more unique, I would say. Oh, leveled up again. Just wish I had better weapons here. Ooh, that's a hefty amount of stronger enemies. Ugh, all these little add-ons and I can't even use them. What I wish would level up is my accuracy. Good grief. I have terrible accuracy right now. It's almost embarrassing. Oh, there's our new enemy. Not these flowers, this blob guy. So you shoot him, he takes a little bit of damage, then he goes back, and then you gotta wait for him to get back up. Typically, you want to hit him as hard as you can. Do not use techniques on him, though. Techniques will make him multiply, and while you can still defeat him with techniques, it's not recommended, because, again, he will multiply a lot. So unless you really want to get that experience point, or that experience from just fighting multiples of him, I don't recommend using techniques on him. Oh, he's going to hit me. There we go. Oh, there's another one coming my way. They kind of hit hard too, so it's best just to take on the one. Once you get past everything else. Would you just stop? Actually, you know what? We're gonna use sabers on them. I think we can kill him a lot faster with a saber. Provided we can hit him. Yeah, there we go. Picking up some money. It's so lonely here on Twitch. I want to see more folks watching me and stuff. Like that one night, I actually had somebody like comment and stuff. It was kind of nice. Made me feel special. I still feel special, but I'm having a good time with this, so. Much better time than with the other games. Ooh, I need to heal. That was me getting a little sloppy. But it would be nice to have a little bit of chat going on. One of these days I'll get some extra viewers on here. Till then, I'm happy that I've got YouTube followers and stuff. And even then, that doesn't really matter too much to me. What matters to me is that I'm providing good content and stuff. And showing off what awesome games a lot of people might have missed out on back in the day. It's just kind of nice, you know. I'll be going for those boxes here in a little bit, but for now. Honestly, I shouldn't even worry about the boxes. I really need to worry about getting from point A to point B. Getting this quest done. Sooner we get to the mines, the better. Well, I mean, I guess not sooner the better, but, you know, when we get to the mines, it's going to get a lot more fun. I feel like right now, the caves is probably the most boring part of this game. Ah, they paralyzed me. Anti-paralysis, and now I'm getting poisoned. You know what? Lightning for you, and then a whack to the head. And a little bit of fire for you. So, again, it doesn't take a whole lot of damage out of you, but you do see it start to take its toll over time. So, get those antidotes ready and get yourself healed up. Oh, that's a trap. And that is why you should be careful when you go into an area. You never know what you're going to run into. You can do a lot of damage in a very quick amount of time. Even my level 30... Ooh. Ooh. Well, hi guys. I was not expecting that. I should have looked at my map. Fortunately, they're all kind of close together, so they don't really know what to do. Apparently, I don't know what to do there either. It's an easy bit of experience there. Crazy intro, though. Gotcha, fool. I'll pass on the Jafoy. Well, nah, I need to pick up that Jafoy. That could actually come in handy. It's basically just a better fire attack. Does a much better area of effect. In that it actually does have area of effect. So I guess I'm going over here. Oh, there's going to be a lot of traps here. You can run through them if you're quick enough, but typically you're going to take damage on one of them. It's best just to take your time and take them out. Ooh. Or you can have a massive amount of traps just go off on you like that. Look at the amount of damage that did. That was crazy. There's going to be traps in here, or not. Not one in here. Alright, what are we fighting? More sharks? That's not too bad. We're starting to get strong. Won't be long before these guys end up just becoming like Boomas. Which in and of their own right are pretty strong too, but these guys aren't too bad. Oh, another mono grinder too. Don't run out of space for those. And don't die. Not a very good pickup from those boxes. Usually the gold boxes have something better in them, like star atomizers. That's like what I usually expect to get out of them. So now we opened up that door. We got something big over here. Nothing we can't handle though. I don't know why I'm so tired nowadays. It's disappointing. I want to be able to stay up like I used to back when I was like, 15. I could do all-nighters like all the time back then. That's how I got so good at games. Just stay up and play all night long. Oof. Oh, there's two of them in here. Kill one of them at least. There we go. Yeah. More sharks. I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, they're just giving me the time of my life here. That instance there could have been very dangerous. You know what? We're gonna pick up that dagger there. Oh, never mind. We can't pick it up. But we're gonna pick it up when we clear out a spot here in a minute. Just kill these sharks real quick. I do not condone the death of actual sharks, though, for the record. Sharks aren't that bad. They have their reasons for being here. Alright, let's drop... Let's drop the frame. And we'll replace that with daggers. I kind of just want to test them out and see how well they do. I've never used daggers, so... I'm usually a sword kind of guy. Oh, my mag attack is ready to roll. Or photon attack. Okay, so it does a... It's not like the best attack, but... Okay. I might have seriously misunderestimated these things. Timing is a little off, though. It's a little weird. I have to get used to that. Clearing out stuff, though. I can get the attack going. Alright, not too bad. Doesn't really mean much on him, but, you know. Alright, not too bad. I might use these for a little while. Should probably start looking for these on my other account. Well, other character. Always love these little revivers. Or rejuvenators. I don't know what they call them. But I love them nonetheless. Let's see how well they do against these things. Not too well. I got poisoned because of that. Whatever. Karate kick to the face. Yeah. Got another telepipe. We might use one of those here in a minute. Not to end the quest or anything, but I do need to drop some things off. Yeah. Alright, I'm really liking these. These are really nice. Do need to get an antidote though. But one step at a time. Antidote. And we'll use our mag blast here. Might be enough to kill them both. Oh yeah, that was perfect. Wow. Alrighty. So here's where trap vision really comes into play. Because there are all these little switches on the ground which we need to use in order to get the doors open. Unfortunately for me, I do not have a trap vision, which kind of sucks, but on the plus side, I have plenty of healing units. So yeah, you can hit the wrong switch, which will be booby-trapped with a trap. Kind of sucks, but whatever. I think this one will be this one. Nope. I look like a Kingdom Hearts character when I get blown up. Well, kinda. I haven't played the game that much, so maybe I'm looking too deep into it. Let's kill these flowers, dude. Awful weeds. No. Stop poisoning me, boob. I hate how they laugh at you when it happens, too. It's the worst. Alright, where are you? Guess I'll use an antidote. I do like their sunglasses on them, though. They look pretty dope. They look like sunglasses, anyway. Oh, this is like my worst nightmare. Alright, I'll swap to the gun. I don't want to, but it looks like I don't have much of a choice. I knew one of them was gonna get me. Let's get another antidote. Ugh, why do you miss so much? It's so bad. You guys are from the future. You guys aren't supposed to miss. You guys should have like the best accuracy of all time by now. Ugh, it was not where I needed to go. We're so close to getting done with this quest, by the way. It's like right there. Oh, there's no trap in here either. So now we gotta go back to the other room where all the doors that we unlocked were. And we gotta go try out those other doors. One of these will probably have a switch in it. Actually, I should check this one out first. Could be where I need to go. Perfect. Getting them like right where I want them. Don't you turn around and attack me. Yeah. Oh, it's another treasure room. Yeah, it'd be fine if it actually had stuff that was worth it. A lot of this stuff really isn't worth it. In all honesty, I should have... Or, I've played this game enough. I should know where everything is by now. Well, except for, like, the ruins section. I haven't played that, and I haven't gotten to episode 2 yet. But I've been through the caves, like, a lot. This is kind of where I grind and stuff, for the most part. The mines is, like, the best place to grind, but, it's also the most dangerous place to grind, in my opinion. Besides the ruins, but the ruins is pretty obvious. But I'm slowly starting to make my way through the mines. Or, not the mines, the ruins. And I'm slowly making that my main go-to grind area. You guys will see that later. We won't get to that for quite a bit of time. Oh, another big shark. Gotcha. I was gonna say, was that all they spawned in? Oh, new spell. But I can't pick it up yet. And there's sharks everywhere and I'm about to get killed. For the record, if I get killed, I'll end the stream. That'll pretty much be the best place to... Well, no, I could continue on, but it would take so much time to get back to where I was. This place just drags on and on and on, so... And technically, I don't even have to do the quests for this area. I just do it because I feel like they add a little more to the story. There is like a little bit of story to be gotten from doing the side quests, because these aren't actually the main quests. The main quest is going through the expedition and just, you know, going through the ropes and stuff. Zalure. I think this is a status debuff attack. Techniques. Yeah. Defense weakening a technique. Not really something I typically use. I think it's kind of pointless. If you're a force user though, like a Newman or whatever, then yeah, I highly recommend using that, because that helps out your teammates a lot. But in this situation, honestly, I just want to attack things, so... Oh, it spawned another one. Gotta keep that in mind. They can spawn things in. Now, granted, I'm not using force abilities on them, so it's not spawning them left and right, but it can do it if it wants to. Just not as crazily as if I was to use like a magic spell on them or something. Sorry, my nose is running like crazy right now. Maybe the weather's changing or something, and that's why. And this right here is the final portion of the caves. For the first quest, they sure expect a lot out of you. Some of these quests only take you to the second part of the caves. Like the missing bride one, that one. Or runaway bride one, that one only takes you to the second area. But, yeah. This area just takes you everywhere. Whole cave area. Get him. We're not going to worry about the soul atomizer. At this point, I'm just trying to get out of here. A faint sweet smell. That means we're getting close. So let's get to it. Oh, a lot of traps. That one might hurt. If I can aim... Really? Really? That much damage from one bomb? That you wouldn't even let me aim at? That was kind of dumb. I knew one of them would get me. Kind of just sticking to my gun here for now, because I know there's going to be more flowers up ahead. Gotcha. And what's in here? Oh, new enemy. So the pan arms, they're a little tricky. You can damage them right now with magic attacks and stuff, which is what I'm gonna kind of do. Watch out for that because it'll debuff you, and it also hits kind of hard. I was lucky that it didn't debuff me. But these guys split into two guys, and they hit kind of hard, so definitely keep that in mind. They also charge for you too, so. But once you kill one of them, they basically, the other guy kind of just stops, because it's like, oh, you killed my bro. What the heck, man? He'll still attack you, but he doesn't attack you as much, so keep that in mind. Now we got this jelly blood hole here. Can't let them have a moment of silence. Oh wow, he stuck around. That was weird. And I got a level up off of him too. Not bad. Now I know the missed potential I had with these. I think these might become my go-to weapon. Well, ultimately the sword will be my go-to weapon, but you know. That's gonna hurt. Okay. Hey, look at that. We made it to the end. Thank goodness. We aren't really bakers. We're the cake sisters. What do you think of the heat and humidity here? It's perfect. Pioneer 2 didn't allow us to make cakes, so we came down here. Hey, want to try one? Sure, give me one for free. Oh, where are you going? Are you surprised to find a cake shop in a location such as this? Girl, there's so many things that have surprised me in the past. I think your cake shop is like the least surprising thing. Welcome to Nara Cake Shop. So, here we buy ourselves either cake, or cake. Just buy any of them. I don't even think you really buy them. I think they just give it to you. But now that we got the cake, we can either continue onward, or in my case, I'm just gonna teleport back to the ship, because we're pretty much done. Once you get the cake, this quest is over. You can just take it home and give it to the lady. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. If I can find the telepipe. There we go. Later, fellas. As thankful as I am for all the level ups that we got and stuff like that, I am much happier just getting done with that quest at this point. This stream's been going on for like 2 hours now, so it is time I wrap things up. We're gonna keep the dagger. Jafoil we need to keep. Foy level 2 we can get rid of. Cane, we are never gonna need a cane. Zond, level 2. I think I just leveled that up. Yeah, so we can get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of the Night Power. I will keep the Warrior Body though. That's kind of a neat one. Get rid of the Saber. Honestly, I'm gonna get rid of Saber 4 as well. While it does a lot more damage than the daggers do, I feel like the daggers have more of a plus to them in terms of like how fast you can deal damage with them. So get rid of that. Keep the handgun. Saber 3. Nah, we'll get rid of that. And that should do it for that kind of stuff. We're gonna go ahead and drop... Well, no, we're not gonna drop our money this time. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my thing. Here you go, lady. I learned about this in history class. It's a cake, isn't it? That's really sad if you're having to learn about sweet stuff in history class. And there you go. I don't know what that other giant bubble was, but whatever. She ate her cake. Been awarded 1,500 meseta. So, that is our quest for the day. Well, we actually got done with 2 quests, and then a huge expedition. Well, kind of small expedition. But, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and quit here and save our data. And we will get back to this next Friday. Because I got a lot of things to do this week. I'll see about making videos tonight. Actually, I think I'm going to wait on making those videos. After Tuesday, I should be free. Like, super free. Because I'm also having to juggle school in with this stuff, too. While school's coming along, I am a little nervous because this is finals week. So, I'm going to put a little bit of a hiatus on the videos for now. I know that sucks because I didn't do a video at all this past week. But this way, once I come back, you guys will have my full unbridled attention. Unless something else comes up, but God forbid that happens. But, you know, once this is all done, you guys will see a lot more video content coming from me. So, till then, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to put up the final card. I think it's 5. Yeah. So as you can see on there, I know these title cards and intro cards and stuff are not that great. I need to spend some time and actually make some good ones. But you can follow me at Facebook, facebook.com/urbanerpilot. That's where I update people and let people know, you know, this is where my or this is where I'm going to let you guys know if I'm doing videos or not. You know, it's a great way to keep an eye on what's going on and stuff like that. I obviously don't update enough with, like, oh, this is what's going on this week, this is what's going on next week, why I'm not making videos or whatever. But every now and then I'll update a little post on that. So, but yeah, so thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And for those of you who are watching this, or who are just getting into it and have missed like a little bit of it, it will be posted on YouTube as post footage. So yeah, you guys have a fantastic day, night, wherever you may be. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you decide to go out. Please wear a mask. And y'all take care.